the b. Now notice I didn't say negative because b itself might be a negative. It's equal to the opposite of b, plus or minus square root. Under that square root, you got b squared minus 4 times a times c. Now that whole thing is over 2a. So you need to be very, very careful that you just don't stop right here and write the 2a. Okay? If you write your answer like this, I'm going to take off the formula, at least. Because that's not the same thing as what's in the formula, is it? Okay? So be careful that you extend that division sign all the way across the whole thing. Now, where does this thing come from? Well, if you look on that page where I showed you that they took the general form of your equation, or the standard form, I should say, of your equation, on page 86, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. That's the standard form of your equation where a, b, and c can be any real number. And you go through the steps you just went through in completing the square. You go through all those steps using the a's, the b's, and the c's and not specific numbers. When you get to that bottom, what do you see there? You see that formula, don't you? Okay? So instead of having to complete the square every time, you know that the formula is the format that your answer should be in. So if you know the formula, that becomes a technique itself. Okay? Now, by that, what do I mean? Well, let's just take a couple of these and look at them and see what we're talking about. Now, over here, the b squared minus 4ac, you see where that's located? It's under the radical sign. That has a specific name given to it. It's called the discriminant. The discriminant. The discriminant, a lot of times people like to take just this part, once they identify their a, the b, and the c. Take just that part, simplify it to a number. Now, since that number you simplify it to is under the radical, it's going to tell you what kind of answers you should end up with. Look at the bottom of the page where you're talking about the formula itself, which is page
86.
Page 86 at the bottom of the page.